Canada will soon get a new set of criminal laws. The federal government's sweeping set of reforms passed in the House of Commons last night. We know there's a lot in the bill, lots of change on the horizon as well. But really, what does it mean for people right now? John Northcott is looking at that angle of the story. Let's look at when these bills become the law of the land, John.
Well, when they become the law of the land and when they actually hit the court system are two different things. It has already been dealt with at the Senate. They made some amendments and sent it back to the House of Commons. So that means that it is now capable of going to royal assent. But the Minister, Rob Nicholson, has already said that he's prepared to work with the provinces as far as the implementation of it. The provinces have pushed back from the very beginning, some of them like Ontario saying it could cost $1 billion, Quebec saying $500 million, other provinces a little more supportive like British Columbia and Alberta. Nonetheless, this is a huge bill, the cornerstone of it being the mandatory minimums, and just an example of which, the oft-quoted one, if you caught with 6 marijuana plants, an automatic 6 months in prison, trafficking drugs of any sort, a year minimum, and in the case of trafficking near a school or in any case near children, automatic 2 years. It's actually more than one bill. It's a whole series of bills all wrapped up. That's why they call it the Omnibus. Let's look at what some of the actual bills are. For example, the Safe Streets and Community Act includes Justice for Victims of Terrorism Act, State Immunity Act, the Criminal Code, Controlled Drugs and Substances Act, Corrections and Conditional Release Act, the Youth Criminal Justice Act, and the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. As far as it actually hits the court system, well, here's the question. When we talked to a number of people today, a number of law professors, including Catherine Latimer of the John Howard Society, she's saying this of the federal Conservative government: it was their political commitment to get it passed. It is passed, but passage and something becoming law of the land were two different things, so it may be sometime, and it may be staged, part of the bill coming into force and others not. So, enter, yet again, more politics. Suhanna.
And what about for people who might already be caught up in the justice system? What do these new laws mean? Now,
this is an interesting point because it depends on at what stage you're caught up in the criminal justice system. For example, a case that has already been investigated, but they have not arrested someone, a case that has been investigated and they haven't charged you yet, someone who has already been convicted is awaiting sentencing. All these are at various stages of the treatment within the system. One could make a case either way, and that is why in a lot of cases, at least in the early stages of the implementation of this omnibus bill, it may be judges who have the final word.
Thank you so much, John.
Okay.